comes Kenny Pickett, 20th overall, drafted by the Steelers, 12,303 yards, the number one passing yardage leader of all time at the University of Pittsburgh.
Welcome back to 5-Star Matchup. If you like what we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button now and consider becoming a member to support the show. Well, here we are in week 4, and somehow, some way, Mitchell Trubisky is still the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thankfully, this experiment is sure to come to an end sooner than later, right? Start this one off with a throw to the Muth man, who thankfully the Steelers remembered was playing before the fourth quarter today. 2nd and 5 now, and Trubisky gets and takes way too much time and fires a deep one to George Pickens, and it's sadly a little underthrown and late. I appreciate the concept, but like most of this season, the attempt is fruitless. Luckily, there's always money in the Muth stand on 3rd, but another illegal man downfield, which I'm not convinced Matt Canada even knows is a penalty, and a scramble to nowhere on 3rd, and the Steelers offense trots off to a screaming chorus of boos yet again. Out comes Zach Wilson, and a nice story of this game early was the Steelers D holding pretty strong against the run for once. Nice play by the combo of Leal and Highsmith here, and something tells me that's a phrase you might want to get used to hearing for the next couple of years. Wilson fires short of the sticks on 3rd. Who does he think he is, Mitchell Trubisky? And it's back to the Steelers' hot, damp fart of an offense. All right, Mitch, come on, give me something to root for. In rhythm, he drops and fires, and it's a pick. Say what you want about Trubisky, though, and Yins know I'm harder on him than most. But in my opinion, an $18 million wide receiver 1 has to make this catch. It's a little high, but that's no excuse. Bad turnover, but hey, at least we barely had to watch the offense. Boos rain down even louder. 1st and 10 for the Jets, and it's a SACK for Alexander the Great, who continues to dominate early in his junior season. He's certainly no TJ, but he's sure helping to cover for the loss. Wilson escapes for a chunk on 2nd and 1,000,000, and Hall converts on 3rd, but they come up short of the sticks on the next 3rd down, and the Jets take the easy 3 and early lead. Jets 3, Steelers nothing. Decent job by the D to minimize the damage, all things considered. Unfortunately, all that means is it's back to Mitch Trubisky and the Sour Patch Kids, and Gunner runs directly into a damn brick wall. Ouch. 3rd and 5, Mitch uses his legs to scramble and fire short of the sticks. What else is new? And it's another extremely brief offensive possession for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Geez, it's only week 4, and I feel like I've said that 340 times. Back to the D, and that sure is one hell of a slippery Mormon. Wilson's athleticism killed the Steelers all day, and I gotta admit, the kid looks worthy of the high pick they spent on him. Steelers can't get off on 3rd and 6 as Wilson flicks a laser to Elijah Moore, and we careen into the 2nd quarter already. 2nd and 7, and who cares if they've got a line made of dudes who could be working at a Best Buy when there's literally no Steeler within 7 yards of Elijah Moore. I hate to break it to you, but it's time to borrow a green and white tie from Mark Gastineau because the Jets have entered the business zone. More run game shenanigans for Breece Hall here, and the Steelers can't even stop a run play with 3, count them 3, inside linebackers on the field. Might as well give Marcus Allen a shot at this point, am I right? 2nd and goal, and Malik Reed ponders making a play 10 yards away from him instead of even glancing at the super athletic quarterback running right by him, and sadly it's Zach Wilson catching a damn touchdown in the once fiercely defended end zone of Acrisure Stadium. Jets lead by 10, and it feels like a million. Back to Mitchy Mitch and the very funky bunch, and Trubisky gets all day to bust out the banjo because he fires this one to George Finger Pickens, who converts on 2nd and 16. Another rose in this field of manure was the run game, which finally got going. Nice tote here by Jaylen Warren, who continues to impress with his straight-ahead, sledgehammer style of running. Next one goes to the Najee man, and it's another well-blocked gash on the ground, and just as I get hyped, they put this man on my screen, and my blood pressure skyrockets, but in the bad way. Please get him off of my screen. Oh right, I'm the one editing this. See you never, Matt. 2nd and 8, and with pressure bearing down on him, Trubisky drops a shockingly perfect pass to Diontae Johnson, who makes the snag, but steps on the white line as he does so. Huge moment in the first half of this game, and while I'm not going to give spoilers just yet, I gotta say DJ really took one for the team between this no catch and the interception. I'm sorry to say it, and he's the least of our problems, but a high-level number one has to make both of these catches. AB snags both of these 10 times out of 10 with no shoes or pants on. Trubisky for once ignores the check down and gets clobbered for a sack, and the Steelers are forced to trot out the cold-blooded killer that is the Bosman, who you already know is... Just a 3rd and 8 throwaway for Wilson under pressure here, but gotta include this one for the Mink Man, who comes oh so close to making an incredible interception with his foot just barely popping up off the ground, and we are sadly forced to watch another possession by Mitch Trubisky and his merry band of jabronis. Damn, Muth, CJ Mosley has a family. Absolute mossing by the Muth Man, and good throw by Mitch. And dare I say the Steelers have a faint but audible pulse? I dare not. This is a 3-man rush. Come on. Over to Wilson and the gang, and at least they're backed up. Well, that was short-lived. Another sick run stuff here by the law firm of Ogunjobi, Leal, and Hayward, and that leads to a pair of misfires by Wilson on 2nd and 3rd, and what's that smell? Oh, it's just the Steelers offense trotting back onto the field. Well, what do you know? It's a run for -3 on 1st, an almost interception on 2nd, and another sack on 3rd and forever taken by Mitch Trashbinsky, who, I won't lie to you, has worse pocket presence than every quarterback I've seen take a snap for the Steelers in the last several years. And yes, that includes Duck, Dobbs, and even Mason. I might even include Dennis Dixon for all I care. This guy sucks, and I'm tired of pretending he doesn't. Oh, by the way, you know who else isn't that good, but no one wants to admit it? Presley Harvin, who barely gets this one past midfield and averaged a meager 39 yards per punt today. Definition of a hospital ball by Zach Wilson somehow gets the defender concussed, and we're all hoping for a speedy recovery for Cookie's favorite son, who rarely misses a snap. Jets get a little too fancy for their own good here, and Wilson drops a throwback. Why couldn't he have done this on the touchdown? But since the Steelers used up all of their right place, right time mojo in week 1, he harmlessly flings this one away. 2020's Steeler defense and a gash up the gut. Can you name a more iconic duo? I'm no X's and O's guy, but how are we still living in a hell where the Steelers are lining up inside linebackers and one-on-ones with wide receivers instead of playing the run? Great stop here in the run game by the combo of a furious Norwood and Mollett, and on 3rd and 11, Wilson waits and fires a lame duck of a pass that's obviously picked by my man on the button Sutton, who is even more on the button than usual here. Fantastic play by Cam on this one to peel off his man and grab the pick. He might not be the best player on this D, but he's certainly one of my favorites. His on-field IQ constantly flashes. With 20 seconds and a timeout, Mitch happily takes a dink to Muth, which is fine, but he tries it again here with no timeouts, and fuck spoilers, you already know what happens, so I'm gonna go off for a second here. It's plays like this that got him benched, not the obvious stuff. What would have been the point if Muth caught this? They're out of timeouts and there would have been like 7 seconds to try and get a spike in, which is most likely impossible. As I've said all year, just what the hell is the point of playing the veteran if the veteran plays like a rookie? There was absolutely no point to this throw, and I wholeheartedly believe even number 2 doesn't try to make this stupid pointless pass. He gets bailed out with an absolutely idiotic late hit by Carl Lawson, which keeps the half going and sets up the Bosman for a kick that's quite literally longer than my patience right now, and you already know he's... And we head into the half, Jets 10, Steelers 6. Yuck. Hey there, and thanks for watching. If you like this show, please make sure to hit that subscribe button now. And if you really, really like what we're doing, please consider becoming a supporter on Patreon for as little as $1.50 a month. I'll even handwrite you a mean joke about Mitchell Trubisky in your welcome envelope. This week only. Now roll the game. We're back with the second half, and it's a 3 and out for the Jets, and I'm still not sure Gunner isn't a sleeper cell, and holy fucking shit, I can't even believe what I'm about to say, but this is not a drill, my friends. He has finally risen. Fear not, for Mitchell Trubisky cannot hurt you any longer. Kenny Pickett has arrived. All right, Mike, well, I'm proud of you for turning that stinky page. Let's open this thing up for Kenny P. Well, that son of a bitch can hand the rock off like nobody's business. Steelers come up short on 3rd, and apparently feeling spicy, Mike goes for it on 4th, and our precious new boy falls forward for a triumphant first as the earth stands still. Acrisure erupts in a fury, and the momentum of this thing has completely shifted. Another stupid penalty by the Jets here as Mosley hits DJ late, and without even throwing a pass, Kenny Pickett has this offense moving. Finally, on 1st and 10 from midfield, he drops back with time and fires deep to chase the bank, who never met a combat catch he liked, and it's juggled and picked. Welp. Blame Kenny if you want, and maybe he's a hair late on this throw, but for the love of God. I've been doing this show the entirety of Claypool's career now, and I'm tired of wondering out loud when he's going to start making these catches. Say whatever you want about the defender tipping it, but this can't be a pick. It just can't. That's okay though, because on 3rd and 6, Zach Wilson seems to forget the only rule about facing the Steelers D without TJ, which is never throw it in Minka's area code, and it's picked and brought back oh so close to the house, and scoreboard be damned, the Steelers are suddenly in full control of this game. Kenny's second throw is Canada's favorite shovel pass, which never goes anywhere. Najee somehow chooses the path of most resistance on 2nd, but on 3rd, it's the sneak goat Kenny who's pushing P, and his second effort gets into the end zone for the first touchdown of the Pickett era, and Steeler Nation erupts in glee as the Steelers take the lead 13-10. Look, I'm not gonna wax poetic on a quarterback sneak, but it is a pretty darn good one, and if you can't feel the shift in morale for this offense right now, you might need to get those peepers checked. With one simple move, Tomlin has revitalized his struggling team, and oh, is it a sight to behold. My heart palpitates as Acrisure shakes. It's another extremely frustrating 3rd down conversion for Wilson to a wide open man over the middle. Why does this only happen to people playing the Steelers and literally never for them? I guess because they never play their own defense. But Wilson can't connect on the next 3rd, and it's back to Kenny P and the Steelers' revitalized offense, a statement I wasn't sure I was ever going to get to say this year. Example here of what makes him better than Trubisky already. I'd bet any amount of money Mitch hits Gentry here for the check down, but Pickett rolls and sticks it on a line to the Muth man for a first, and that's the difference between a 1st down and a 2nd and 7. Efficiency, folks. Welcome to it. Is this a running game? Awesome shifty run for the Najee man who juketh, and the Steelers are moving again. Kenny fires short to Pat, did we just become best friends? And on 3rd and 6, it's something you can get used to, which is a decisive scramble for number 8 to convert, only bummer is there's no fake slide. Get it to your man and let him make a play. Nice catch and throw to Pickens, who refuses to go down, and not only did Kenny earn his spot today, so did he with a monster performance. Time to start feeding number 14. 3rd and 4 gotta have it, and it's Kenny Lickett, Stickett, and Pickett who drops an absolute fucking dime on George Pickens, who makes a great catch on the sideline for the first, and that's yet another statement Yins might want to get used to. Quick snap just to make sure they can't look twice at it goes nowhere and gets called for yet another illegal man downfield. I swear to God Canada doesn't even know this rule. And one more tote for Najee takes us into the 4th and final stanza. 3rd and 8 brings us the play of the day for young Kenny P, who takes one look at a barreling pass rusher and says, "You're fucking out," as he fires a literally perfect pass to Pat Freiermuth that Mitch Trubisky could only dream about making. And look, you and I both know where this thing is going, but this play told me every single thing I need to know about the future. This dude is him, and I have no question about it. Not only does he take the shot and make the throw, but he gets up smiling and claps back at the defender. This is a guy who's been playing in the NFL for all of 15 minutes at this point. He may not be perfect, but he's ours, and we love him. Filed firmly and on the top of the pile of things you love to fucking see. 1st and goal, and we finally find out why Mike was whining about quarterback mobility every week last year, as Kenny Pickett runs that sumbitch right in for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, and shockingly, the Pittsburgh Steelers lead this game 20-10 with 13.5 minutes to go. Back to the defense now, and it's time to put up or shut up. Jets go practically nowhere on 1st and 2nd, but stop me if you've heard this one before. On 3rd and long, Wilson stands and delivers to that other Wilson for just that completion where you kinda know this thing is gonna be harder than it needs to be. Nice day at the office for Chris Wormley, with the stuff followed by a run short of the sticks on 3rd, and the Jets in no man's land are forced to go for it on 4th. Way too comfortable of a pocket for a guy that's being protected by a bunch of refrigerator salesmen, and Zach finds Corey Davis for a monumental conversion that gets the Jets back into the business zone. Another simple motion eats the Steelers alive. Do they even employ any linebackers not named Watt or Highsmith? And the Jets are inches from the end zone in no time at all. Jets with another bad penalty that pushes them back, followed by a play where you wish Minkah had just a skosh more magic. And on second, a nice tackle by Trey Norwood sets up another gigantic possession down, which...
to try and get the Jets in the end zone.
Looking left, throwing, touchdown, Corey Davis.
does not go well. Jets get on the board and narrow the Steelers' lead back down to a measly 3, as I continue to wonder aloud if I can handle 13 more weeks of this. Well, it's back to the rookie QB, and it's time to find out if he's got one more drive in him. Nice job on the move here to get the ball to Diontae, followed by another one to that same number 18, and I'll just say it, if Trubisky was in there, this is probably a 3 and out. Another scramble for Kenny here, who you love to see keeping his eyes downfield the whole time. Najee grabs a few on second, setting up yet another crucial possession down, and just between you and me, I think Kenny knows who that dude is, and that dude is George Pickens, who makes an unbelievable snag on a great ball by Kenny, and not to oversell it, it's just so brutally obvious. While Kenny's tangibles may not be the greatest, the guy just knows how to facilitate. Get your guy the ball and let him make a play. George rewards him for it here. Almost oops as a pitch back to Jaylen Warren ends up on the ground, which is a damn shame because it was set up nice, but disaster avoided when he falls on it. Unfortunately, not for long. When on 2nd and 15, pressure comes and we are reminded that despite our immense excitement and sudden optimism, this is life with a rookie quarterback. Take your pick whether Kenny underthrows the throwaway or overthrows freiermuth, but either way it's picked off and the ball goes back to the Jets with nothing but thoughts and prayers to help keep the defense from spoiling this otherwise finally exciting day. Another pass play and another guy wide open behind the Steelers linebackers, and you just know this ain't gonna end well. Another possession down and another pass to a mediocre tight end who looks like Shannon Sharp against the Steelers' hapless middle D. Minkah goes down, and what was I saying about optimism? Because I suddenly wish the Lord would take me. Block in the back gives the Steelers a little more life, and the Mink man thankfully returns, but Jets get an easy 11 to get the penalty yards back, and they're at least in field goal range already. You know, if Devin Bush was never the closest defender to a wide receiver ever again, I'd be super hyped about that. Nice throw and catch from Wilson to Davis, but I gotta ask why the refs didn't at least stop this down to take a look, cause I'm not so sure it didn't hit the ground. Of course the refs suck just as bad as the Steelers D, so they let it go. A pair of runs gets them close. Gotta point out here that Trey Norwood quite literally looks more like a linebacker than Devin Bush, and on 2nd and goal, as time ticks down, there's a moment of hope as the ball pops free. But the refs take a look, and it's a touchdown for the Jets, who sadly win. Steelers trot out for one last completion and a Hail Mary attempt, but that's not important. Let's cut to the chase. And I don't mean Claypool. For the life of me, I don't know why it took 3.5 games to prove to Mike Tomlin that Mitchell Trubisky is, to put it nicely, not a starting quarterback in this league. But at least he's finally seemingly conceded that fact. Hearing Mitch's post-game comments, in my opinion, there's no turning back, and I think that's a good thing for us as Steeler fans. While I disagreed with the move to start Trubisky all along, I chose to believe they were seeing something in practice that I didn't know about. However, after 3 putrid offensive games for the Steelers, it seemed painfully obvious to me, and apparently the 70,000 people at Heinz, that Mitch just wasn't the answer. I'm glad he finally went to KP, but it does beg the question. With the long week, if he was this close to doing it, what was there to lose by just preparing Kenny for the start and starting him? Whatever, I'm not here to live in the negative. I'm here to put the Mitchell Trubisky era of Steelers football firmly in the rearview mirror. And if he never throws another pass for the Steelers, it'll be too soon in my book. Sorry, not sorry. It's time to look to the future, folks. For Kenny Pickett has arrived. There will absolutely be growing pains. We mustn't compare him to Based Benjamin, who had arguably the greatest start to his career of any quarterback ever. But instead, we must ask ourselves each week, is he getting better? Is the team playing better around him? Turnovers be damned, you can't tell me the third quarter this week wasn't the most fun you've had watching the Steelers since the first quarter against the Bengals. and that the entire energy of not just the fans, but the players completely shifted the moment number 8 walked out. Nothing looked too big for him. He made a few nice plays, one really nice play, and gave us a chance to win, which was more than you could say for his predecessor, who scored something like 4 touchdowns in 40-something drives. The future is now, friends. Pickett season is upon us. Here we f***ing go. And if you're still here, please think about supporting our show. I was recently fired as an independent neurological consultant for the Miami Dolphins, and any little bit helps. I have no idea how I got that job with video editor on my resume, but don't hate the player, hate the game. Love yins, and hope you'll stick with us even if this year runs lean. Catch you next week.